640studio.io. Unlike every other transition seller I've ever seen, you don't get a preview of what the 640 Studio transitions look like on the website before you buy them. All you can do on their website is create an account or log in, which takes you straight to a page that asks you for money. Only after I gave them some money did I notice a plethora of negative Trustpilot reviews, accusing 640studio.com of being a scam and making monthly subscriptions very hard to cancel, among other things. So is 640studio.com the same company as 640studio.io? Well, after some sleuthing on archive.org, I found a page that links to a YouTube video which is now unavailable, but the channel ID is the same, and that makes me nervous about giving them my credit card number. Anyway, you have to install 2 things and then restart your computer. Annoying. I did this, and it still didn't work until I turned it off and on again. Now that it's working, I can preview and apply the transitions. They use track locking instead of track targeting to import the transitions, which actually does work pretty fast, but if you have any tracks locked on purpose, they'll become unlocked after your transition is applied. Also, the sound effects will clog up your root bin. Also, many of the sound effects don't pair well with their transitions. These transitions have the exact same footage resolution cut in half problem as most Buncho layer transitions, which to me is an instant disqualification, but I kept looking around. There are way too many transitions in here. It's a total noob trap to think that a pack with more transitions is better, but the reality is that quality is more important than quantity. 640 Studio claims to have thousands of transitions. I don't think that's true, it's more like hundreds, which is still too many, especially considering that most of them are just minor variations of one another. The applied transitions at least have names on them, which is greatly appreciated, but they're not grouped for easy timeline movement later, which is not appreciated. The dark and muddy footage that they chose to use for the previews makes it harder to tell exactly what the transitions are doing. And again, little arrow indicators would be a huge help here. The quality of a company's push transitions are always a pretty good indicator as to the quality of the rest of their transitions, and 640 Studios are just below average. In addition to the decreased resolution problem, 640 Studio uses inferior motion blur from the transform effect, which doesn't have enough samples, resulting in these ugly repeating patterns. Compare it to Mr. Horse, and it's no contest. You do have the choice to buy a lifetime membership instead of paying monthly, but considering their alleged history of abandoning paid products, I would not buy this. I was nervous about being able to cancel my automatic monthly subscription, so I went to do that as soon as I could. It's a confusing and unintuitive process of clicking this link, inputting your email address, waiting for an email to arrive with another link, and from there, you can cancel your subscription. The payment is done through Stripe, and while I don't trust 640 Studio, I can trust Stripe. I mean, I've at least heard of them before. So let's ask Future Terran if the subscription was actually canceled.
Yeah, it was.
Well, that's good. Maybe they've turned over a new leaf. But I still don't trust them, and I don't recommend them. However, the extension is still better than Studio App, so I'm gonna give 640 Studio a barely passing D-. The next review is about Motion Bro. Bro?